How's it going, everyone? Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome back to the 260 mission guides. So last time we talked about the TDs, now we're going to be talking about the medium tanks. So let's get straight on into it. Now for the first mission, again, it's a nice easy one just to ease you into it. Just any tank you want, any medium tank you want, you feel comfortable in, because you just got to finish as a top player by experience earned, cause a bit of damage, at least one bit of damage, like one hit point worth of damage to an enemy vehicle, win the battle, and that's it. You could survive for the additional honors, but don't have to. For the second mission, cause damage 15 times to enemy vehicles by shooting them. Any tank that has a fast firing gun. You could even do this in like the E50 with the small caliber gun. So if we go to the E50, and if you chose the 88mm gun here, you get a 4.5 second reload with 280 alpha. And I mean, you're probably going to want to spam gold to get 261 pen. Otherwise, you're going to be at 223. Or you could go even faster and choose this gun, which is faster still. And you would be getting 4-second reload, roughly. And it would be, I mean, 203 pen and then 237. So probably not. But you could just choose this gun and just shoot people. Now, it doesn't have to be 15 different vehicles. You could just shoot the same vehicle 15 times if you really wanted to. As long as they're pen, that's all you need to do. Now, remember, you can do this mission all the way down at tier 6. So you could choose something like an A43, get that gun, and then, I mean, is this gun any better, actually? This gun is even better. There you go. 2.3 second reload time. I mean, yeah, it's got bad pen, but, I mean, 189 pen, that's really, really good for tier 6. So you could probably use an A43 as a cheat code tank, because you just get up close to someone and just keep firing over and over again, and you'll quickly go through 15 rounds in no time. For the third mission, destroy 2 enemy vehicles within the first 3 minutes of the battle. This is not very hard, considering that most games are over within 3 minutes. So just play normally, I guess. I mean, I'm not even joking, but within the first 3 minutes, usually the game is already decided whether who's going to win or lose. So the chances are you will probably get this done. As sad as that sounds in nowadays World of Tanks, I'm not joking. Within the first 3 minutes, you could potentially get 4 kills or even 5. Hell, you could probably get top guns in the first 3 minutes. The way that games are going at the moment. If you are wanting a little bit more, let's say in the future, if they fix the matchmaking and turbo games and whatnot, it's probably going to be you're going to want something that's fast. I would actually recommend like a Leo 1 for this, because it's got good DPM and good reload time, as well as good alpha damage. So you've kind of got the perfect mix of all of them, where you can quickly just go and pick up 2 kills, just kill stealing off other people around the map. So Leo 1 is very nice for that. Even a Leo PTA you could do. You could choose like a 140, anything that's kind of quick firing in that respect. 140 might be a little bit annoying because it's not as mobile as a Leo, for example, but it does have a better rate of fire, so that could come in handy for you. If you want to do it down in the lower tiers, which you could do, because it doesn't have to be, again, you could go and use an A43. You could go and use this gun again with its 189 pen. I can't believe it has 189 pen, actually. That is actually insane. That is very insane that this thing has 189 pen. That's a little bit too good, actually. I mean, considering that the 107 on the tier 7 has 219, it's not that much more. This is a whole tier below. So you could do it that way and just try and get the killing shots. As always, these are just recommendations to you. If you feel like you could do it in a different tank, then of course, let me know in the comments down below. But what I would try and do them in is these tanks that I'm mentioning. It would be actually pretty cool if it said, like underneath here, what tank you did the mission in. I think that'd be a pretty nice addition. Now for number 4, it's immobilize 4 different enemy vehicles by destroying their tracks. Avoid the heavy tanks and that kind of flank. So you wouldn't really use this on a 430U, for example. I would try and use 140 or something that's fast firing. Again, you can go down to tier 6, so just keep that in mind. a lot of these missions are going to be a lot easier at tier 6 than they are at tier 10. So if you want to try and do them at tier 6, the only problem is that I can't really recommend the 57mm. As much as it might fire very, very fast, it's not going to do a lot of damage to the tracks. So that is why I'm saying something like a 140 where you do have the reload and the alpha to back it up is going to help you out. You could even go and choose like a T44. That could work. Yes, it's in tier 8, but it would work. T43 with the 85mm gun might work. I would avoid any derp guns, so I wouldn't bother with any type of like 122mm gun or anything like this where it's going to be very, very derpy, because you're going to have to put 4 shots in when they're tracked. Because there's no point of tracking someone 4 times or tracking 4 different enemy vehicles and you haven't done this. So what I would suggest you do is get the damage done first, and then once you've done the damage, find other people to track. Because if you try and destroy the tracks first, you're then going to have to damage them afterwards. And this one is the actual hard bit. This, not so much, because you could just HE someone and their tracks will get, or they'll get detracked. So this one isn't too bad, just destroying the tracks, but keeping them tracked and firing 4 times while they're tracked is why you need something that's fast firing, but also fast enough to, or sorry, high enough damage to keep them tracked there. And as you can see, I haven't even done this with honors, because destroy 3 immobilized enemy vehicles and win the battle is just, that's a lot to do in one game. Now for medium tank 5, I would actually recommend a bat chat. The reason being is that you're fast enough to get to where the light tanks are, and then you can hopefully allow your team to do some damage to them and then just pick them off. The only problem is there is not always 2 light tanks on the enemy team. There's going to be some games where it is just impossible for you to do this mission, and you're going to have to pray that there are 2 enemy light tanks at least. Why this mission is in the game, I don't know. It is actually stupid. I don't know why you would design a mission that you cannot do in every single game. Medium tank 6 destroys 6 enemy vehicles of 3 different types. Now what I'd recommend you do with this mission is find something that you can play on the heavy flank. The reason being is that if you want to try and get kills, you first kill a heavy tank and then you can go off on somewhere else. Because once you kill a heavy tank, that is 1 less class that you need to worry about. And usually they are going to die pretty quickly if your team's winning a lot. Once you go and kill a heavy tank, you then have the choice between light tanks, medium tanks, and TDs. Obviously SPGs, if you can find them or if you have them in the game. To kill those tanks is pretty easy, because usually the team is made up primarily of those 3 and then a few heavy tanks. It's quite rare that you see more than, say, 3 or 4 heavy tanks in the team. So if you can go to a heavy tank flank and you're fast enough to then move around the map after, you can then go and, you know, just pick up some kills elsewhere. The problem is that you need to kill 6 of them. So you need a top gun and also to be able to get the 3 different types of vehicles. I really wish this showed what I did it in. Honestly, something like an STB1 is probably pretty good for this, because you can go to the heavy flank, you can spam heat at the heavy tanks, get them killed. You could easily like rack up maybe 2 or 3 kills on heavy tanks alone if you're lucky, and if you're trying to kill still, and then you can go around to the other flank. If you want to do this in lower tiers, an A44 might be able to do it, but at the same time, it's going to be a little bit hard because it's got quite a long reload. It's not too long, but it's kind of long considering that you have to be getting 6 kills. So this 10 seconds could feel like quite a long time when you're waiting and you've got targets there in front of you. This tank could be your best friend for this mission. 1, you don't choose the top turret, okay? You never choose the top turret because this one has all the armor. So don't choose the top one because it's bad. Yes, you won't be able to mount the 76mm gun. However, you want the 105. If you choose the 105, you can then fire 102 heat rounds or 350 heat with 102 average pen, and you are at tier 6 with a decent reload time with 3000 DPM. Like, if you've done this is without field mods as well. If you wanted to choose field mods, then you could, and you could make it even more accurate. And then you could go for turbocharged tuning as well. 3.9k DPM if you're using HE. And if you want to fire the heat rounds, which is what I would suggest you do, it's got 100 pen, so it's more than enough usually at tier 6. And remember, this could see tier 4s sometimes. With a 6.2 second reload. Like, they're mental. I mean, yes, it's very, very inaccurate, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. However, if you can get around that, and you can learn to kind of not bloom out the tank as much by just doing aggressive turns with the vehicle or whatever, and just try and play it more slowly and learning about what makes the tank bloom out and stuff like that, it is going to be your best friend for this mission. Because it is basically a heavy tank. And you can then go to the heavy tank flank. And also, if you have a look right below my webcam, the top speed on this thing is 40 kilometers an hour forwards, and it even has 16.94 power to weight. Yes, this is using Bounty, and yes, it has the Bounty Turbo, but you could go and put a normal turbocharger in there. Even with just the standard equipment. And let's get rid of food as well. You're still over 3,000 DPM on a tier 6. It's actually insane. For medium tank 7, you need to cause damage 3 times to SPGs by shooting them and destroy at least one of them. Probably your best bet is again to be going down to about tier 6 or so, because 1, you're going to want to fire a gun that is not dealing that much damage, because you don't want to kill them too fast, and SPGs don't have a lot of health. So again, with that A43, you could use the 57mm gun if you can get close enough. How fast is the A43 actually? Oh, it's more than fast enough. This doesn't even have the engine. Oh yeah. Oh, that's plenty. Just conserve your hit points, get to the end game, and just farm some artillery at the end of it. 85 damage. Hopefully you're the last one alive and you get the choice of just all the RT. Medium tank 8 is a little bit dodgy. Any tank you want. Just play a tank that you are comfortable in, because you just need to kill 3 other medium tanks. That's it. That's the entire mission. Cause 2,000 damage if you want to do it with honors, but that's the main one. Just kill 3 enemy medium tanks. So just play the game and enjoy it. Kind of forget about this mission, to be honest. Don't go out of your way to try and do it. When you get onto this mission, just forget about it and just play the game and just enjoy the game, and just eventually it will happen. A bit like, you know, heavy tank, level 15 missions. Kind of just play the game and just forget about them, because that is how usually you end up doing level 15 missions or whatever it is. Now for medium tank 9, 2,000 damage to heavy tanks and destroyed 2 enemy heavy tanks. Something like an STB1, again, could be very, very useful, because you want to go a bit higher tier now, because it's 2,000 damage. So 2,000 damage, do that in tier 10. It's not going to be too much of a problem, even for people that aren't as good at the game. You will eventually do a game where you do 2,000 damage to heavy tanks. And if you just play the flank, as long as you can hide in between your shells and just peek up, try and only expose your turret armor, STB1 can do that. You could do it in a TVP, but at the same time, doesn't really have anything going for it apart from that clip burst. So probably not the best, because it doesn't have any armor. I mean, nor does really the STB1. Sometimes the STB1 can be troll. UDES 1516 might be a good one, because you do have that strong turret armor where you can fight the heavy tanks. The only problem is that it doesn't have that great of pen, only 310 heat, but you can manage with the Cran, so you should be able to manage with this. I probably wouldn't recommend going below tier 8 for this one, because there's not really too much that I can see that would actually be beneficial for it. You could do it in a 430U or even a 430, but again, like 430U is probably, you know, like the best heavy medium, but at the same time, doesn't have gun depression. So when you get on those maps, you need gun depression, it's going to be a problem, and it doesn't have super reliable armor. You can get some troll bounces here and there, but it's not super, super reliable. Now, I'm not saying that the STB is, you know, super reliable either, but this one is, it's not fast enough to kind of back off instantly like the STB can. The STB is quite mobile in that respect, where you can kind of, you know, get all the way down with the gun depression, back off instantly as soon as you fire, keep poking and just being very annoying. This is more sluggish and slow, and it is more like a heavy tank. So, yep, you could do it in a 430U, you could even do it in a 140. But realistically, I'd probably say do it in an STB1. And for medium tank number 10, cause damage 8 times to enemy vehicles by shooting them. That sounds familiar. Well, if you can do number 2, for medium tank 11, destroy an enemy vehicle that is 1 tier higher than your vehicle by ramming. I hate this mission with all my heart. Use an E50, hope for the best, and just pray. Realistically, I just ignored this mission, and eventually it got done. It is one of the worst missions in the game to try and do. Almost as bad as Heavy Tank 12. Almost. Because it's fine ramming something that's 1 tier higher than you and doing some damage, but actually killing the thing is completely different. Try and get an E50 and just pray that something light is in front of you that is 1 tier higher, and absolutely ram it to death. Go straight through it. Medium tank 12. You see, there's a very, very good trend with missions that are level 12 that are just completely stupid. Set an enemy vehicle on fire. Oh, sorry, it needs to be your tier or higher. Yes. Yes. Because that's a good mission design. No. You can't just go and set a little light tank that's 2 tiers below you on fire. That doesn't count. Not allowed. No. Has to be your tier or higher. And do 3,000 damage. So good luck doing that in tier 6. I cannot tell you what I used to do this mission, because it is pure RNG. If you're good enough to get 3,000 average damage, you will just get lucky one time, and it will just happen. Just like medium tank 11, ignore it. Forget that this exists. Eventually you will do it. I hate this mission. I hate both of these missions, actually. It's genuinely making me a little bit annoyed reading them again, because I forgot about these. Thanks, Wargaming. Medium tank 13 cause 6,000 damage to enemy vehicles. I would advise you use a tier 10 and just pick something that you are good in. Eventually it will happen. That's about it. I'm not joking. Like that's genuinely all I have for you. Just whatever you are good in, you pick it, you play. Again, forget that this mission exists. Eventually it will happen. At least you don't have to do something stupid like, I don't know, jump off a cliff and do a 360 and kill someone in midair, as well as doing 6,000 damage. Medium tank 14 is nice and easy. Again, just play. You will get it eventually. Just get a top gun. 6 enemy vehicles. That's all you need to do. You could try and, you know, cheese this a little bit and use the 57mm again and just kill steal everything. That is an option. Or just play the game and just have fun and just try and see if it happens. It will happen eventually. And medium tank 15, the one which got me my 260, by the way, this one was the last mission I ever had to do for the 260. And I spent maybe a month doing this mission straight. If any of my mods are watching this video, they know exactly how much I hate this mission and how much it ruined my life. Cause 3,500 HP of damage to tank destroyers. It doesn't sound like much, but when no tank destroyer is on the enemy team, it is infuriating. What I would suggest you do with this mission, this is not really a mission that you can just ignore like the other level 15 missions. The thing is that this mission is a real pain in the arse. You will need 2 people, 2 friends that are very, very dedicated and very, very good friends, because they may hate you after this mission. You will need them to play a TD and you play, say, a TVP. A TVP is probably going to be your best bet to try and do this mission in, because it will clip fast and then you can get out of there. So try that and just hope that you get a few more TDs on the enemy team. If not, you're screwed. Also, another tip, turn on Grand Battles. I done mine in Grand Battles. You can do these in Grand Battles. If you turn on Grand Battles, you are going to have more TDs to play with. So hopefully you get in a Grand Battle and then you can cause 3,500 damage. As you can see, I did not win the game. That annoyed me a little bit as well. But yeah, I hate this. Man, maybe it was a mistake choosing medium tanks. It has awoken something in me that I forgot was there. I have a hatred for these missions. Genuinely. When you get past, like, medium tank 10, it gets awful. Anyway, that is my medium tanks mission guide for the 260. Hopefully this was useful to you. Hopefully you learned something. And hopefully you can get your 260. Good luck, because, yeah, those missions, absolute bastards.